Alright class, so this tutorial is to show you how to link Revit files or add your Habitat for Humanity house to the current site plan. So the first thing I'm going to do is navigate to the course, and then somewhere in the course you will be able to find the actual site plan for Revit. If you click on the day where it was taught about adding the site plan and click on view, I should have a link to that site plan here. I'm just going to open that up. It's going to open the site plan. You did this once before when we were doing a preliminary view of the site plan. You should not use that file because we've manipulated it and changed it a little bit. You should start with a fresh site plan file. You could also download it from the project Lead the Way LMS if you'd like to, but that site plan looks like this. So once I have that site plan, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click Save As and Project. And what I want to do with the site plan is actually place it in the same folder, wherever that folder is that you have your Habitat for Humanity house in. So I'm going to save it to that folder because they both have to be in the same folder in order for this to work. So now that I've done that, I am closing it. On my desktop, I should have that file that I just saved and my Habitat for Humanity house in the same folder. I don't like the name, so I'm going to rename it Malum Site Plan, and then I know what that is. So in order to link the two files together, I am going to open the Malum Site Plan from the folder that has the same thing as the Revit house. It's going to look exactly like what it just did a minute ago. And there it is. And then what I want to do is I want to actually add my house to this site. So up here in the Insert area, I can go to Link Revit. And once I do that, I'm just going to navigate to that same folder that has my house in it and select my house. What this is doing is it's actually taking a picture of my house and putting it on the file. I can't do anything to manipulate this. I can't move anything around. I can't edit the house. If I wanted to edit the house, I'd close this, open the house up, and edit the house. Once I insert this, it is like a snapshot. It's not going to update the two of them simultaneously as I'm working on one or the other. And one more thing, you should never have both of them open at the same time. It'll break the link and then you have to reinsert it and causes all kinds of problems. So I am going to move my house to approximately where I'd like to have it. One of the things that's interesting here is if I actually go to an elevation, I'll notice that my house is nowhere near my site. That's because of the fact that the site itself has these elevation markers of 770, 769, 768, and the levels for my house, if you remember when we did the house, those were at 0 and 8 feet, and actually -4 feet. So it did place it appropriately. If I zoom way in here, the levels for my house are at 0 feet, 8 feet, and -4. So my house is technically 700 feet below ground. The easiest way to get it up to ground, since this is just a picture of my house and nothing more than that, is I can just drag my house up to the ground, drop it somewhere close, and then manipulate it very carefully to get it where I'd like to put it. So I'm just going to move my house a little bit into the ground. And basically what we're shooting for, and that's pretty good right there, I actually want my house a little bit more this way, so I'm kind of placing it. I want enough room for my driveway and for my sidewalk and those kinds of things. I'm going to go back to that. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to click on the site, because one of the things that I'd like for my house, it's only a 1 foot grade from here to here, but I do want the area around my entire house to be level. I don't want my house to be on a hill at all. So I'm going to change it so that it says 770 all the way around my house. To do that, I'm going to click on Edit Surface. I get to place a point, and the elevation for my point is going to be 770. And I'm just going to kind of start at this line, and if you notice, I'm regrading the lot so that all the way around my house is now at 770 feet. If I just click OK, everything around there is the exact same elevation. Now this whole area is basically one big flat surface, and there's no grade to it really at all. If I view in the 3D view now, twist a little bit and zoom way in, my house is actually sitting up a little bit high at this point. You'd like to have it so that some of your houses, the cement foundation that we put in, should be below the ground, just a little bit of it exposed. So I need to move my house down a little bit into the ground. And I'm going to take a look at it. It's hard to see because the view isn't quite perfect. So I'm going to kind of keep going back and forth here and move it down into the ground a little bit further. And I'm just about there now. I could probably even manipulate it here a little bit if I wanted to. So I'm going to say that that's pretty good. It's something that you guys can kind of putz with a little bit. That's perfect right there, actually. Just a little bit of that cement exposed above the ground, and most of it is below the ground. Two more things. You do want to put, say, a driveway, sidewalks, that kind of stuff on. We're not going to talk about adding trees or any electrical or any plumbing or anything at this point, but if you wanted to change the surface here, there's two ways to do that. One, probably the easiest way, is just to add a floor. So when I'm on the 2D view of my site plan, I'm going to go to add a floor. Say this is a driveway. Maybe I want my driveway to go off of this alley or off of this street. I'm just going to draw in a driveway like so, and hit done. If I go to view, I'll see that I have, oh, it's going to be way down here. Way down here. There it is. Because I did forget to put it at 770. And I'm going to give it 1 inch so that it sticks up above the ground. It just seems like it just disappeared, but now it's up here on my site plan. Very easy to forget that our site plan is at 770. So there's my driveway. I didn't try to add it to the house or anything. Another way you could add the driveway that doesn't deal with monkeying around with the elevation is I could, in this 2D view, click on the whole surface and then go to this tab called Massing and Site and do a subregion. So I'm just going to draw in a subregion here. There we go. This could be a driveway. This could be a sidewalk. I could draw it however I'd like. You know, I could pick a line here and go off of that. But I'm just going to hit Done and View. And over here you can see that I just made that subregion. I can make it any shape I want to. If I want to change the material of that, I go right over here to where it says Material. Click on the 3 little dots, and this is a process that you're very familiar with at this point. I can search for whatever material I want, like concrete. Once I find the concrete, I'll just use concrete. You can see that it changed that to a black colored concrete. Or I could use cast in place concrete, and then it looks a little bit more like the concrete that you'd like. So you'll have to draw in those concrete pads however you want. I was just showing you how to put them in. I was not trying to make them connect to my house in any way, but I think you get the idea. Alright,